Chapter 3 of the Menagerie. So if you remember at the end of chapter 2, when Logan was back in his room and he was wondering who ate all of the mice's food. And he picked up the container and then heard a loud squawk. Logan froze. That was a noise he had definitely never heard before, and it had come from somewhere in his room. He turned around slowly, his heart pounding. That's when he saw the tail stretched out along his carpet, sticking out from the trailing edge of his comforter. A long, golden, furry lion's tail. There was a monster under his bed. Chapter 3. It couldn't be a lion. There weren't any lions in Wyoming, right? Maybe cougars, but those didn't have tails like that. Logan grabbed the baseball bat that was leaning inside his closet door. Cautiously, he edged a bit closer, then crouched down and peered under the bed. The thing had its eyes closed. The front half of it looked like a giant golden eagle, wings and beak and all. The rest of its body was furry, with sharp lion claws on its 4 paws. A bolt of fear shot through him, followed immediately by relief. It wasn't real. It couldn't be real. Something else must have made the noise, and this must be some kind of weird stuffed animal his grandparents had sent for him. Sometimes Grams forgot that 12-year-olds wanted iPods and video games and dogs, not kid toys. But what kind of animal was a bird at one end and a lion on the other? He'd never seen a stuffed toy like that before. Well, whatever it was, at least he could be sure that it was absolutely 100% not real. The creature's eyes popped open. "Mark!" it declared. Logan slammed backward into the closet door and dropped the baseball bat. It was alive! He was about to be eaten by a lion eagle thing. "Mark!" the creature warbled again, clacking its beak at him. At least it didn't sound threatening. In fact, the noises it made were kind of cute. "Mark, Mark?" "I'm asleep," Logan said. "I'm dreaming. I'm hallucinating." "Mark?" the thing under the bed insisted. "Mark?" Logan closed his eyes. "Logan, you're imagining this. There must have been something weird in the pizzas they got us for lunch. There is definitely not a monster under your bed morking at you right now." "Logan!" Was that a voice inside his head? Logan peeked. The creature's eyes were dark and huge, watching him with bright curiosity. They looked exactly the way he'd always imagined his future dog's eyes would look. "Was that you?" Logan asked. "Logan, hear me?" Logan started. "Mork?" His bed shuddered and shifted as the animal slowly crawled out into the open, and Logan got his first look at it. It was smaller than he'd thought, no bigger than a Labrador puppy. Soft golden wings unfurled from its furry back. Long lion claws dug into his gray carpet as it shook itself, lion tail lashing. The feathers on its head and chest blurred into fur for the rest of its body. Its hooked beak went clack, clack, clack as it snapped at the air. A crest of golden feathers fanned out around its head like a tiny mane. Logan realized he had seen a drawing of something like this before, on the cover of a Diana Wynne Jones fantasy book. It looked like a griffin, but those don't exist. It shook itself again and bounded over to him. Before he could scramble away, it leaped into his lap. He winced as its claws sank through his jeans, but it didn't attack. It tucked its tail around itself and sat down. Its dark eyes stared at him earnestly, and when it headbutted his chest, he couldn't resist reaching out to pat it. "Mork!" the creature gurgled in delight, wriggling closer to him and curling into a ball just like his cat. Logan stroked its soft fur, even softer than Persimmons, and carefully touched one of its folded wings. This didn't feel like a dream or a pizza-induced hallucination. "What the heck are you?" he asked. "Some kind of government experiment? Scientists were always putting plants together and making weird fruits like pluots, after all. Maybe they could make egg lions as well." The creature opened its mouth, but instead of saying mork again, it let out a loud squorp. Logan laughed. So, may I call you Squorp? He asked. Squorp, chirped the voice in his head. Good name. Squorp like Squorp. Logan, listening. That's right, Logan said. I'm Logan. You're Squorp. Squorp, eat. It nipped at one of Logan's fingers, and he pulled his hand away with a yelp. Okay, but not me, he said. You're the one who ate all the mouse food, aren't you? Squorp hungry, said the creature, giving him the saddest eyes an eagle face could muster. Small, scritchy food, very, very gross. Its face brightened. Eat small scritchies instead? No, Logan said sternly. It was lucky the lid on his terrarium was locked down to protect Mr. and Mrs. Smith from persimmon. No eating my mice. They're my friends. Squorp nestled closer to him and leaned his head on Logan's chest. Squorp, your friend? So, readers, are you noticing that for some reason Logan can hear Squorp? He can hear what he's saying. This is very unusual. Let's keep reading. Squorp, much better friend than small scritchies. Small scritchies are necessary and delicious. No, Logan said. We'll get you hamburger instead, okay? You'll like that much better, I promise. Suddenly, Squorp bolted upright and clacked his beak frantically. Uh-oh. The little creature leaped onto Logan's bed and buried into the bedclothes, shedding golden fur all over his sheets. What? Logan asked, standing up. What happened? Mork! Squorp yelped. With a frantic glance at the window, he rolled and dug the sheets around until he was just a big lump under the dark blue comforter. Logan peeked out the window, then ducked quickly out of sight. Zoe and Blue were standing right outside, staring at the low hedges around his house. I don't know. Are you guys wondering if Squorp is scared of Zoe and Blue? That's what I'm thinking. Let's keep reading and find out. Chapter 4.